Hi, it's Carrie Van Ice here at Barefoot Consultants, and I want to welcome you to another one of our mini training videos that I do once a month in the newsletter as a feature. And today I'm going for a little bit more inspiration than education. So I'm still going to consider this a training video, but what I want to talk to you about today is all of the benefits of being an English teacher abroad or online. And these are things that maybe you might not think about right off the bat when you think about teaching English. And of course, the first one is time off, vacation time. As you can see, I am in beautiful Montana right now. I'm visiting my family. I'm able to travel in the summer times and spend time traveling to other countries or coming home and spending time with my family. And as an English teacher, if you're working under an academic year structure, you are going to have those same benefits. And you also get time off usually around Christmas and New Year. You also get time off if you're in a predominantly Latin or religious culture for religious holidays. Say I live in Mexico. There's a big sort of break around Easter time in many of the Latin countries. Or a spring break. You also get federal holidays. In Mexico also, there is a 45-hour work week, which means that people there work a half a day on Saturday as their regular work schedule. But teachers don't. Teachers have weekends off because there are no classes for primary, secondary school. Of course, once you get up into the university, they might offer some Saturday classes, but generally, for the most part, you're going to be able to have your weekends off, plus you're going to be able to tack on those holidays and make long extended weekends throughout your year. So that's one of the greatest benefits. If you are really looking forward to exploring your new country and experiencing your new culture, this is a great way to do it, because oftentimes you do get 3, 4, sometimes even 5 days strung together where you can make a longer trip. So that's great. The next one is cultural integration. So I know that a lot of you are looking at moving abroad, living in another country. Maybe you're even thinking, I would like to do a year in Peru, and then I would really love to do a year in Croatia, and then I would like to explore Thailand. And this is entirely possible. And as an English teacher, you really get cultural integration, because from day one, you are mixing it up with people from either that culture or another culture that doesn't have English as their first language. So you really build a network fast of people who are your students, who are your colleagues, who are administrators, and you start to become part of the community much faster than you would if you were just an expat living in a community. You know, birds of a feather, we tend to hang out with people who are like us, who come from English-speaking countries. It's our comfort zone. And even when we're living in another country, we don't often take the opportunity to actually integrate into our new community, or it takes a lot of time to do that. There's language barriers, there's all kinds of things that prevent us from actually becoming an integral part of our community. But as an English teacher, this really happens from day one. And I'll share with you just a really quick story of how this happened for me. When I first started teaching in Orizaba, Mexico, I really enjoyed walking to work in the morning. And it was a 20-minute walk from where I lived to the school where I taught. And I would walk, once I got close to the school, there would be shop owners that were opening up their shops. They were out sweeping the street. They were getting things ready. They were putting out, you know, fresh squeezed orange juice and appealing pastries, wanting to get those other people who were on their way to work to make a purchase. And I didn't have time to do that. I usually was on my way. So I didn't know any of these people. Like, none of them knew my name, but they knew that I was a foreigner who walked every day to the same place. And so they made the assumption that I was a teacher. They just knew that I was an English teacher there. And so it didn't take too long before I was being greeted with, "Hola maestra, buenos días maestra," which means good morning teacher, hi teacher. They didn't know my name and I didn't know their name either, but they felt a kinship with me. They knew I was there to teach the children of their community English, and I was making an impact by doing that. So this is one of the best things that happens, and it makes it so much easier to really get your feet under you in a new community and start to make those connections that make it feel like home. The next thing is mental stimulation. Let's face it, if you are retiring and you're moving to another country and you're thinking, I'm just gonna sit back and drink margaritas on the beach every day and I'm gonna really live the retirement life, I don't have any pressure, I won't have anything to do, I can just laze away all my days, that gets old pretty fast, actually. You're not learning anything new, you're not being challenged every day oftentimes, and you can slip into this very easy but complacent lifestyle. And when you're a teacher, you are constantly learning new things. You're brushing up on your own grammar so that you can teach your students. You're learning about your students. You're learning about the culture. You're learning about a system, even the way that your new country runs, government, public works, all of those things. You are really, as a part of the community, you are constantly being stimulated with new things and new learning. And this keeps your mind sharp. And that's what we all want. We want to go into those golden years and we want to keep our mind sharp, and we want that mental stimulation. And this is a great way to get it because it comes with the fourth thing I want to talk about, which is purpose. I know so many people who retire and their sense of purpose is gone. They don't know why they're getting up in the morning anymore. They're struggling to find a reason to motivate them to do things. And when you are an English teacher, your purpose is your students. Your purpose becomes seeing their lives transformed by what you have to offer them, this skill that really does change the course of their life. And there is so much purpose to being an English teacher. And I can tell you, I've had countless conversations with people in the Speak English and Get Paid program who will tell me the same thing. And many of them will say, I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. I feel a bigger sense of purpose now than I ever did in my career. So there's one last benefit, and I made this number 5, but I would really call this number 1, which is the appreciation of your students. This is what keeps you motivated. You do have a life of purpose. You are integrated into your community, mental stimulation. You're getting all of these wonderful things, but I'm telling you, it is how much appreciation your students give you for giving them this, helping them with this gift of learning English. They are so appreciative. I know I talked a few years ago to my friend Linnell, who did her first year of teaching in China. She'd never been there before. She didn't know the culture. She didn't know the school where she was going to teach, and she was really kind of isolated at the beginning. And she said, it was my students that kept me going. When I had a bad day, one of them would come up and turn in an exam, and they would say, thank you so much, teacher. And they would help me. They would write a little note when I had to go somewhere on the bus that would say, please, this is my teacher. Please take care of her. She needs to get off at the bank. Make sure she gets off at the bank. And they just made sure that her life was taken care of for her because they appreciated so much what she did for them. So, I mean, for me, I taught little ones, right? I taught second graders, and their way of appreciating you would be like being out at recess and running around and just running up and giving you a huge hug and then running off again, you know, or giving you a little kiss on the cheek when they came in the morning and when they left in the evening or the afternoon. And these are the kinds of ways, sometimes it comes through gifts, sometimes it comes through words of gratitude, sometimes it's expressions or looks or smiles or touches or little kisses or something like that. And you will almost every day experience that appreciation, and that appreciation goes on for years. My friend Gudrun, who lives in Huatulco, she says 7 years later, 2 of her students came back to her, gave her a gift of something really special, invited her to their wedding, even after she hadn't seen them in 7 years, because they knew that she had made such a huge impact on their life. So this is why you're doing this. These are the payoffs. This is the inspiration that you have to look forward to. And I hope that at least one of these resonated with you, if not all of them. And I know that sometimes you just need a little boost, like you just need a little wind in your sails. And this journey, it does have its ups and downs. And sometimes you have setbacks. And I want you to know why you're doing this. I want you to know what the inspiration is for this. This is the fire in the belly that keeps you going. These 5 things are what you have to look forward to. So I hope that this has given you some inspiration, and I look forward to seeing you next month in next month's feature video. Bye.